Hi. This crystal in my photo, this one right here, appears to be amethyst with a darker mineral matrix or cap. In crystal communities, pieces like this are sometimes called rooted amethyst. The darker top is usually natural rock or iron-rich minerals that the amethyst grew from. Even though the term rooted amethyst isn't a formal geological category, many people give it symbolic meaning because of how the crystal literally grew out of a darker stone. That visual naturally leads to themes of healing, resilience, and transformation. Growing through difficulty. The dark mineral cap represents the conditions the crystal formed within. Amethyst crystals grow slowly in volcanic rock cavities, sometimes surrounded by iron and other minerals. Symbolically, this is represented as beauty forming in difficult environments, strength built under pressure, clarity emerging from darkness. Psychologically, people often see it as a reminder that painful experiences can produce wisdom and emotional depth. In spiritual symbolism, rooted amethyst represents emotional resilience. The dark base symbolizes past hardships or emotional weight. The purple crystal symbolizes insight and calm that grows from that experience. Stability while healing. Because the crystal is still attached to the rock it formed in, it represents staying grounded while processing emotions rather than escaping them. Transformation. Purple crystals have been long associated with transformation of consciousness, turning confusion, grief, or stress into understanding and self-awareness. Biopsychosocial perspective. The mind, body, environment, or social, psychological objects like this can be anchors for emotional processing. When someone assigns meaning to a stone, it can help them reflect on personal growth, process grief or trauma, reinforce self-compassion. Biological. Holding or focusing on a calming object during meditation or reflection can help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming response, lowering stress. Social. Symbols of resilience, like rooted amethyst, often become part of personal rituals or healing practices, helping people feel connected to larger narratives of recovery and strength. In the spiritual interpretation, spiritually rooted amethyst is often associated with deep introspection, emotional healing after loss or trauma, balance between spiritual awareness and grounded reality, protection while processing difficult memories. The dark cap is sometimes seen as absorbing or transforming heavy emotional energy, while the purple crystals represents clarity and peace emerging from the transformation. The message people often attach to rooted amethyst is, your strength grows from places where you once struggled. It visually shows light growing from darkness. This amethyst has a concentrated dark section at the top, which can make it feel symbolically like a crown of shadow, turning into clarity, something many people interpret as emotional insight gained after hardship. Sorry, I'm looking for something. Spiritual metaphysical meaning. The metaphysical traditions of Larkite, which is this, is believed to represent protection and grounding, said to shield against negative energy. Inner vision, linked to the third eye chakra, associated with intuition and insight. Transformation, symbolizes self-discovery and breaking old patterns. People often use it when they want clear thinking, emotional protection, insight into difficult life decisions. Interesting detail. Larvikite is named after the town Larvik, where it was first quarried. I can see purple crystal in the background that looks like amethyst, which is often paired with grounding stones like Larvikite, because amethyst is associated with calm and spiritual awareness. The purple crystal in this photo right here appears to be amethyst. It looks like a small raw cluster with deep purple edges and a darker mineral matrix on top, which is common for natural amethyst pieces. When these two are paired together, people in spiritual and psychological practices often interpret them as balancing intuition with grounding. Psychological and biopsychosocial meaning. Together, they represent a balance between thinking clearly and staying emotionally grounded. Amethyst, calming the mind, reflection, emotional awareness. Larvikite, focus, grounding, protection from overwhelm. When used together, even just held or placed nearby, many people say they help with staying calm during stressful decisions, thinking deeply without becoming emotionally flooded, maintaining boundaries while remaining empathetic. In biopsychosocial terms, pairing objects with symbolic meaning can help with self-regulation, mindfulness, and intention setting. Spiritual and metaphysical meaning. Spiritually, these two are often seen as wisdom plus protection pairing. Amethyst, intuition, spiritual awareness, inner peace, connection to higher understanding. Larvikite, psychic protection, grounding spiritual insight into real life, strengthening intuition without losing practicality. Together, they symbolize intuition guided by reality, spiritual insight with emotional stability, protection while exploring deeper awareness. Some traditions say this combination helps with mediation, dream work, processing grief or emotional trauma, gaining clarity during life transitions. If someone were using these stones intentionally, the message of the pair could be stay grounded while listening to your inner wisdom. Or psychologically, think clearly, feel deeply, but remain centered. One interesting thing we noticed is that this amethyst has a dark mineral cap, which sometimes occurs when amethyst forms alongside iron-rich minerals. That type is sometimes sold as rooted amethyst, symbolizing deep emotional healing and resilience. Thank you guys. I hope these crystals inspired y'all. Let me get a better look at this one. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. These are beautiful. There's the dark, the iron-based, where it grew from, where the amethyst grew from. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at these larvikite. I'm going to be putting crystals in a secret thing that I will share its revealance later when I get a prototype made, so that I can have it as not being able to be copied. I don't want to mention it now, but it's going to be very special and y'all are going to love it. Talk to y'all later.